I've lived in Costa Mesa for 30 years. Here's what nobody tells you. Costa Mesa is not one place. Most people moving here don't find that out until after they've already bought. I've lived here for over 30 years. I grew up right next door in Newport Beach. Went to Newport Harbor High. I've bought here, sold here, raised my kids here, and there are things I know about this city that you will not find in any relocation video. Today, I'm going to tell you some of them. If we haven't met yet, I'm Christine Donovan. I'm a real estate broker and a practicing attorney here in coastal Orange County. 4th generation in real estate, 3rd generation in Orange County. I didn't choose Costa Mesa because a lifestyle blog told me to. I moved here because I already knew it. And after 30 years of living here, raising a family here, and helping dozens of people buy and sell here, I've learned some things I want to share with you. Before we get into this, drop a comment below and tell me, are you thinking about moving to Costa Mesa, or are you already here and this is home? I read every single comment, and knowing where you're starting from helps me make better videos for you. Here's the first thing I wish someone had told me clearly when I was young enough to think I already knew everything. Costa Mesa is not one place. My sister has lived in Texas for decades now. She still laughs at me when I talk about Westside versus Eastside. Her take, Christine, you either lived in Newport Beach or y'all just lived in Costa Mesa. And look, as a kid growing up in Newport, I got that. But as an adult who's lived here for 30 years, worked in every pocket of this city and helped people buy and sell across all of it, I have a very different perspective. The main areas most people talk about are Eastside, Westside, Mesa Verde, and South Coast Metro. There are also what the MLS calls Central Costa Mesa, areas like Hailcrest and Hall of Fame, which don't come up as often in conversation. But the people who live here have very definitive opinions about where they live. The biggest divide, though, Eastside versus Westside. Eastside is on the east side of Newport Boulevard, near the Newport Beach border. More of a grid layout, strong walkability near 17th Street, closer to the Back Bay, and it carries a significant premium in price because of that Newport adjacency. Median prices on the east side are pushing $2.2 million right now. Westside sits west of Newport Boulevard, closer to the Santa Ana River, more eclectic, less grid, more character in some ways, closer to Fairview Park and the river trails, and meaningfully more affordable with a median closer to 1.3 and 1.6 million. That is not a small difference. Now, here's something I want to be very direct about. These two sides of the city can mean a very significant difference in value. I had a client years ago who bought on the west side. Their agent, who helped them buy it, was from out of the area. And that agent told them the value was essentially the same as a property a quarter of a mile away on the other side of Newport Boulevard. It was not. And I know because I was the one who had to explain it to them at resale time. That was not a fun conversation. That's the kind of thing a local agent knows. And an out-of-area agent doesn't always catch. When I was a kid, we used to throw our bikes and big wheels over the side of what we called the gully. We'd play down there for hours. It felt enormous, like it went on forever. I didn't know what it was. It was just fun. It was just the gully. I now know those areas are Canyon Park, Sheep Hill, part of the Talbert Nature Preserve, but that's not what it was to us back then. The Talbert Nature Preserve is nearly 200 acres of coastal scrublands and wetlands, sitting between Newport Beach and Costa Mesa, connected directly to Fairview Park. Fairview Park itself is 208 acres of open space, kite flying, hiking, a BMX area, model airplane field, and the Goat Hill Junction Miniature Railroad, run by volunteers, free rides on weekends, typically the 3rd one of the month. My kids absolutely loved going there growing up. This is not a pocket park. This is a serious, meaningful outdoor asset that most cities 3 times the size of Costa Mesa don't have. And here's what I want relocation buyers to understand about the West Side specifically. The Santa Ana River Trail runs through this area. And if you're on the West Side, you can get on that trail and bike or walk all the way to the beach. Not the Back Bay, the beach. Sand, waves, boardwalk. The Back Bay is beautiful. I love the Back Bay, but it's birds and kayaks and nature preserve. It is not the same as putting your toes in the sand. The Santa Ana River Trail from the west side gets you to the actual beach. That is a West Side specific advantage that most relocation videos completely skip over. I've watched the city change over the last 30 years in ways that are genuinely interesting to someone who has loved it the whole time. South Coast Plaza was always a big deal. I spent hours there as a kid in the 80s with my friends. It was the destination, and it still is one of the most productive luxury retail centers in the entire country. The Segerstrom Concert Hall going up was a moment. I remember watching it being built, and the level of programming it brought to the city, world-class performances right here in Costa Mesa, still feels remarkable to me. The OC Fair has been part of my life as long as I can remember. Summer in Costa Mesa without the fair just doesn't compute. The fish fry that's been going on since before I was born, most of my life, it was at Lions Park on 18th Street, which in my opinion is exactly where it belongs. It moved around for a while, Fairview Park, but it's back at Lions Park now. And the energy there just feels right. But I'll be honest about what's changed that I notice every single day. This city has grown a lot. The infill development is significant. Small houses on large lots, the kind that define so many Costa Mesa neighborhoods, are being torn down and replaced with multiple units on the same property. More density, more traffic. The character of certain streets has shifted. Goat Hill Tavern is still there, and I want to be clear, that place is not new and it is not trendy. It has been there forever. For people who grew up here and turned 21 here, it was a rite of passage. I say that because I think it matters to know that not everything cool in Costa Mesa was invented yesterday. Some of it has just always been there. This one still makes me smile every time it comes up. Newport Terrace is a neighborhood at the end of West 19th Street. It feels like Costa Mesa. It looks like Costa Mesa. By all logic, it should be Costa Mesa. But the address says Newport Beach. I lived there as a kid, and even then, the city boundaries in this part of Orange County did not follow the logic you would expect. This is not just a fun piece of local trivia. This matters for real estate in a very real way. Because in this market, a city boundary is not just a line on a map. On the east side, there are streets where one side of the road is Costa Mesa and the other side is Newport Beach. Tustin Avenue is one of them, in certain stretches below 17th Street. I had clients once where one party was focused on the house and the other was focused on which city they should be living in. We were on the east side, just off of Tustin, when one of the buyers asked me what street they were on, because they weren't sure. So I pointed to the street signs. The color of the street signs on one side of Tustin is different from the other side. One side Costa Mesa, the other side's Newport. Same street, two different cities, and a price difference that is anything but subtle. That's the kind of thing you only know if you've been here long enough to notice. My grandfather grew prize-winning roses. He always said his secret was that you put a $5 rose bush in a $50 hole. Preparation, foundation, what's underneath matters more than what's on the surface. Costa Mesa is one of those cities where the surface looks obvious. Beach proximity, great restaurants, South Coast Plaza, lifestyle. But the foundation of a smart decision here, whether you're buying or selling, is understanding what the neighborhood boundaries actually mean. Understanding how the different areas feel to live in. Understanding what's changed and what hasn't. That's why I try to give people not just, here's a house, but here's how to think about whether this decision is right for you. I've lived here long enough to have watched buyers choose based on the surface. The beautiful listing, the proximity to the beach, the neighborhood they saw in a video. And I've also seen people move here and never want to leave because they took the time to understand what they were actually getting into. Costa Mesa is not for everyone, and it's not one thing. But for the right person in the right part of the city with the right strategy behind the decision, it is an extraordinary place to live. I know. I've been here for 30 years, and I'm still not leaving. If you're thinking about moving to Costa Mesa or anywhere in coastal Orange County and you want to talk through whether the numbers and the neighborhoods actually make sense for your situation, reach out. My contact information is below. And if you're buying or selling somewhere else entirely, I have a strong network of agents across the country. Wherever you're headed, I can connect you with someone I trust. That's a resource I'm happy to be for you, whether it leads back to me or not. If you haven't subscribed yet, I put out a new video every Thursday on what it's like to actually live, buy, and sell in coastal Orange County. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just clarity. Drop a comment below. Are you already here or are you thinking about making the move? I read every single one of them. I'm Christine Donovan, broker and attorney. Clarity first, strategy that sells.